The World Wars exhibit at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre is covering many aspects of the First and Second World Wars. As Graham McCann reports, there was a personal story shared this weekend of a soldier who lost his life in Italy in 1944.
I've done 6 tours back to Italy and France, and in December we found a particularly interesting area where the 1st Special Service Force fought.
The 2 world wars may have been on a mass scale throughout humanity, but ultimately they are tapestries made up of tens of millions of personal tragedies. Private Donald MacDonald of Lloydminster was part of the Canadian Special Service Battalion in the Second World War.
He's from a family of 12. He was the oldest of 12. They immigrated from Scotland in 1926.
But MacDonald's life ended on May 23, 1944 in Anzio, Italy. He was 23 years old. Many members of his family came to Lloydminster for the presentation about his life and the battalion in which he served.
Most of the family right now didn't know him. The 4 youngest of his siblings don't remember him. Actually, the youngest wasn't born until after he passed away.
He never came home. He went out the door, and I talked a little bit to the family, and he never came home. And they remember that first call that he was killed in action. You know, killed in action, never coming home. We're here to remember him 70 years later.
John Hart has collected a lot of information about the 1st Special Forces and has made many presentations about them since 2006. But this presentation is particularly special because it's a very personal story for a member's family.
They're all different, and this one's very different and very unique in the aspect that we're honoring Donald MacDonald. And I've been to Donald's grave. I've been to where Donald was killed.
We do have some fairly specific information that's just been received.
The World Wars exhibit goes until the end of November. Graham McCann, Newcap News.
If you're a fan of first-person shooter video games like Call of Duty or Battlefield and wondered what it would be like, the Cold Lake Fish and Game Club may have something for you. They just recently opened their Airsoft rifle grounds. Although it may look like a battle happening here, this is all for fun. At the new range, the new location allows youth and adults to use their airsoft gun, a type of BB gun with smaller, softer pellets.
This is the first official airsoft club in the Lakeland area. We now have our own field with small structures, plenty of space to grow and build.
When you get hit, standard rules apply.
Range organizer Andrew McKenzie is excited to finally have a place to come and practice their skills and says the experience is a different level of fun.
It's just a whole lot of fun. You get out there, you run around the bush, you're shooting at each other, they're shooting at you, you're shooting at them. It's all kinds of fun to be had.
Cold Lake Fish and Game will also start up biathlon training similar to the Winter Olympics this coming season. Stan Viktorovsky was the big supporter of this opportunity and says he can't wait to start training more people in his favorite sport.
Oh, it's great. I'm over the moon. When I came to Cold Lake, I was worried about how I was going to continue with my shooting, and then I discovered the Cold Lake Fish and Game. I explained to them what I wanted to do, and they were all in for it and all aboard.
Both ranges are open year-round. For more information, you can visit their Facebook page. The beautiful fall weather made for a perfect day for a ride on the weekend. Dozens of horse enthusiasts took advantage of it and hit the hills west of Lloydminster for the 2nd annual Mount Joy Endurance Ride. Annika Nodvate has more on the 25 and 50-mile races.
Sakic fuels up after a long trek on the trail. He just finished 8 hours trotting in the hills, but his owner Christy Jensen says that's nothing and they'll be heading out again shortly. She's spent thousands of hours with her horse over the years and says they have a special bond.
You know, I'd like to be buried like King Tut with my horse. So yes, we are very close. I spend probably more miles and hours with him than anybody.
Jensen's been riding for 24 years and even does rides internationally. She says being on the trail for so long is mentally grueling.
There's always things, you know, your head hurts or something's bugging your leg, and you just have to stay focused on what you're doing, eh? And the better rider you are, the easier it is for your horse. So that's the big deal, is you can't be floppy because you got to make it easy for them.
Now these endurance races are a lot more technical than just the time it takes to do the race. A vet is always on hand to take note of the horse's fitness.
If they aren't sound or if you know, their heart rate's too high or something's not right with them, then we may just stop their ride at any point and say, no, you can't go on. And that's for the safety of the horse.
The final race time isn't officially recorded until the horse's pulse rate has slowed.
So what happens with those is you actually don't finish until you pulse your horse down to 64.
Their pulse stays high. That means that they've either been driven too hard or they're not conditioned enough.
And what makes a good racer?
Experience, same with the horse, good conditioning, lots of experience.
The ones that don't have Arab blood, we have to train a bit more and ride them accordingly because they don't have the same pulse rates that an Arab has, which means they recover faster.
This was the club's last ride for the season. Anna Knopfate, Newcap News.
It's time now for Pet Project. In this week's edition, Sammy, a 7-year-old female Labrador Retriever, is up for adoption, along with Bones, a 4-year-old domestic long-haired cat.
Catch it. This is Sammy. Sammy is a 7-year-old Labrador Retriever cross. She is spayed, dewormed, and has received her first set of vaccinations. Sammy is a calm and easygoing girl. She's quite patient and does great on a leash. Although she's easygoing, she also loves her playtime and is very good at playing fetch. Ready? Ready? Sammy is super friendly and would do great in a home with older children. If you think Sammy is a dog for you, come meet her today. Say hello to Bones. Bones is a 4-year-old domestic longhair. He's been neutered, dewormed, and has received his first set of vaccinations. Bones is a laid-back cat who loves to hang around and cuddle. He's a friendly boy who's always eager to greet guests with a meow. He's super affectionate and loves to show it with purrs and head rubs. Bones gets along great with other cats and is currently enjoying sharing a condo with his friend George. If you think Bones is a cat for you, come meet him today.